Ms. Donahue.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have service.
No, I don't, but I need to ask again, the court, if they could please, since this is the fifth hearing I've been through, and everyone that's getting, protective orders are way lower in concern to mine.
All right, you and I talked about this before. I'm not going to revisit the decision of the judge not to give you an order. All we can talk about is, has Mr. Kovas been served? And the answer is no. And this is, let me make sure I'm correct about this.
This plea is
One,
regarding human
two.
trafficking.
Yeah, I
rape,
understand.
And video.
Yeah, you told
But
me all
you
about it.
gave a dog
Yeah, you
a
told me
protection
about that.
order.
Okay,
You gave Tilly a protection order.
This is
You've
the-
given these people
right.
protection orders.
so I'm just going to
For a
dismiss.
property line.
Okay, we're not going to reset it.
You're not resetting it? Well,
No, I'm
I'm
not.
appealing, so
Okay,
I'm not going away just because you don't like me or whatever.
it's nothing
You
about
just
liking you.
can't.
Okay, this is the fourth hearing where we've
No,
given you
no,
a
no, this
chance.
is the second, this is the second hearing on Lenny Cavallas.
Okay.
Okay,
The two parties are neighbors. Yes. Mr. Ajayi, and I'm going to work with you since you're the counsel present in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've read what the parties have filed, and frankly, having read that, my inclination would be to either tell all the parties to stop talking to each other or to go ahead and enter mutual orders, one against the other. I'll hear from you first, your thoughts on that.
Your Honor,
And as a reminder, I pointed out, I've read what both parties have said about each other.
absolutely. And I think your initial inclination might be the best path moving forward. You know, with respect to each petition, I would say that, you know, Mr. Pennell and Ms. Cox are trying to characterize neighborly interactions over the span of 2 years as harassment. And I believe that's a mischaracterization of their interactions over that time. Specifically with Ms. McClure's petition, we are talking about a specific instances that were documented objectively, which have put her in fear. However, you know, we will defer to the court's judgment with respect to what the court has read and reviewed.
Okay. All right. So I understand what you said about Ms. McClure's actions, but it seems to me in reading what had been submitted by Ms. Cox and Mr. Pennell was that they didn't want Ms. McClure to keep presenting gifts or whatever to them, and she persisted, which is also a form of harassment, regardless of, you know, her belief that it was in good spirit. So the parties obviously were, I mean, not obviously, they seem, based on what I had read, to be annoying each other. So, Mr. Pennell, I saw the video of you covering up the cameras. I don't think that there was a basis for you to do that. So, you know, I've looked at what's been filed. So unless Ms. Cox and Mr. Pennell want to make a strong argument, I'm basically going to enter an order telling all the parties to stop having contact with each other. Mr. Pennell, very briefly.
Sir, yes, sir.
No, I don't want you to describe the actions.
Okay,
I want you to tell me whether you think there's something inappropriate with me doing that.
I think that is inappropriate, sir. Can I cite why?
Well, what I'm going to tell you is I've read everything you filed.
Okay, got it. All right.
And I've reviewed it,
Okay.
and my sense of it reading is you both are just doing this.
And I will not
saying
argue
it's
with you,
their
sir.
fault.
It's your courtroom. I'm not.
No. You can tell me, no, I've not done anything wrong, but I've seen you put cardboard over the security
Right.
cameras repeatedly, so.
So simply based off the fact that Nicole McClure placed that camera on March 26th in a lease violation where it was bolted and drilled into the building. The apartment complex came and inspected it. They determined it was a lease violation. I think that really crosses the statute 9.73 030, which makes it illegal to record or intercept private communications or conversations without explicit prior consent. This was a minor child. Also, Your Honor, her attorney has taken that evidence and submitted it to the court. Further, in 973-050, it explicitly bans courts from admitting illegally obtained audio or communication recordings. That is just the point that I wanted to make. They are framing this as I escalated the situation at the end of July. The situation was escalated when a camera was bolted 48 inches away from the only entry and exit way to my domicile and started recording my interactions, private conversations with my child and my wife, sir. And then that is a gross misdemeanor in Washington state. This is your court. I don't have a high powered law firm. I just think that that's especially important because they also complied by the apartment complex, determining that it was illegally drilled into the building, hence a lease violation. Hence, it was an audio recording device. That's what I just wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. And I had read somewhere, I believe that Mr. Pennell, you and Ms. Cox had indicated you were going to move. Has that happened?
Sir, we offered for the apartment complex to let us move to solve this problem. They told us everything would be on our dime, even though it took them 4 months
Okay,
to.
so the answer is no, you haven't moved.
Correct.
And did the apartment complex do anything about the camera?
Yes, they told Nicole McClure to affix it within the property guidelines, which it was illegally and unlawful.
Has that been done?
It was done 48 hours after the 22nd.
Okay, but the camera has,
Yes, sir.
they now are in compliance with their.
It has now been put in compliance, sir.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Cox, is there anything you want to say, or is Mr. Pennell essentially representing your interests here?
He is mostly representing my interests. The only thing that I really would like to add is that when we first moved in, my husband was working nights and she would knock on the door at night and I was alone with my daughter and I was so scared that I asked my husband to switch to days and he did so he took a $2 pay cut per hour in order to do so. So yes, I'm very scared and I'm very, very annoyed.
Okay, all right, thank you. And both parties are still immediate neighbors, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Cox, your daughter's name is Laith, is that correct?
It's, yes, Laith.
Laith, okay, and she's 5 years old?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right. As I had indicated, what I've done is grant protection orders on behalf of both parties in this case. Ms. McClure, you're to have no contact with Ms. Cox, Mr. Pennell, or with Laith Cox as well. So no contact at all. And Mr. Pennell, Mr. Cox, you're to have no contact with Ms. McClure at all. Any issues about the camera, you raise them with the landlord. Don't go to the other party. You're not to have contact with the other party. Now, because you're immediate neighbors, I'm not going to impose any distance restrictions in here because that's going to be pretty unworkable. And I'll say to Ms. Cox and Mr. Pennell, you can take this order to your landlord and see if that now convinces them to allow you to move within the complex. But I can't interfere with their business decisions there. They're going to have to make that determination. And Mr. Pennell is present in court. We'll give him copies of the orders that I have signed. And Mr. Ajayi, you can access those orders through the file at district court on behalf of Ms. McClure.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, for all the parties, these orders are in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you wish to have it renewed after that period of time, you'll have to come back to court and seek renewal. But hopefully this will help put the matter to rest.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Paul. Yep. And just sit tight and get your copies. Thanks. All right, so what I know about this case is that I'm correct in my assumptions or reading of the material that's been filed that Ms. Matthews became involved with Ms. Gomboski's husband, sent him some photos. Ms. Gomboski got upset and sent Ms. Matthews unsolicited gifts from Amazon, which were annoying. They weren't threatening, but they were saying things that people probably wouldn't want to hear. So I'll go first to Ms. Matthews. Is that a accurate sort of generalization of what we're talking about here today?
Yes, the gifts began after her text messages were going on unanswered for about a month. And so once she was blocked and the texts weren't showing delivered anymore, the timing of the gifts show up about weekly.
Okay, and when was the last gift you
The
received?
last gift was the day that I filed all of this on August 3rd.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Gomboski, is that was my summary and the addition of what Ms. Matthews just said, a generalized, generally accurate summary?
Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Gomboski is asking for a continuance today. She just retained our firm, and we're entering a notice of appearance this morning. So we want to be able to file a response of materials. And so if we could continue this matter to a later date, that would be appreciated.
Okay, I'll ask Ms. Matthews' thoughts on that. Ms. Matthews?
I disagree because anything that she has to enter is apart from the interaction that she's trying to get from me. Anything that she would put to the court would be something between myself and Mr. Gomboski, and she never had anything to do with that. So I filed all of this based off of her contact with me. So I'm not, and seeing as there has been no contact between myself and her other than what I presented, I don't think a continuance is necessary.
Okay, and yeah, that's a good point. As that's what a lawyer would say. Mr. Bowie, your thoughts on Ms. Matthews' statement saying statements about how Ms. Matthews may have been inappropriately involved. Ms. Gomboski doesn't go to the relevance of Ms. Gomboski's response to Ms. Matthews. So your thoughts on that, Mr. Bowie?
Well, certainly, Your Honor, but it's Ms. Gomboski has the right to respond to the allegations. And so I think that just given that, whether Ms. Matthews can't say how Ms. Gomboski is going to respond. She can't say that it's only going to be interactions with with a third party. So this is Ms. Gomboski filing her response to the claims that Ms. Matthews is making. So Ms. Matthews can't speak for my client.
Okay, yeah, which is true. Thank you.
Again, I would argue that the submissions that I have made show that the text messages are coming from the phone number associated with Ms. Gomboski. And
Okay, I'm gonna let her have the time to respond.
thank you. Can I ask a question?
You may.
Okay, is it possible to ask her here and now if she sent the Amazon packages so that I don't have to go through the subpoena process of getting everything from Amazon Deuces Tecum?
Okay. And Mr. Bowie, have you spent enough time in this case to be able to either stipulate that indeed Ms. Gomboski sent those, or you want Ms. Matthews to have to go through the process of getting information from Amazon as to who ordered the material that was sent to her?
Your Honor, I just came onto this case and I'm actually standing in for another attorney who Ms. Gomboski retained, because that attorney was not available for this hearing. We're just asking for a simple continuance. I think that the response will answer Ms. Matthews' questions.
Okay, well,
But I can't attest to any veracity of what she's claiming.
all right. Well, I'm going to ask Ms. Gomboski directly. Ms. Gomboski, are you willing to acknowledge you had those materials sent to Ms. Matthews, or are you not willing to acknowledge that?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would just like to underscore what my attorney said, which is to ask for the continuance. There's context, the dates are not right. So no, sir, not at this time.
all
I
right.
would appreciate the continuance.
Okay. Thank you.
Crazy track because the dates are not right.
All right, parties available on the 31st of August. Ms. Matthews.
Yes, Your Honor, I can be.
Okay, Ms. Komboski
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Bowie on behalf of whoever is Ms. Komboski's counsel.
Yes, either myself or another attorney will be available.
Okay. 31st of August at 9 o'clock. We'll see the parties there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Mattson, you and Ms. Cobb are neighbors, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you indicate that Ms. Cobb yells at you, she threatens you.
She has left her residence, come storming across the courtyard that's everybody's
Common area?
common area. And that's where I presented letters. My neighbor came out twice when I was just going to my car. And my neighbor came out twice, worried about me getting physically assaulted. I put the letters in my order, Your Honor. On the 9th,
Along with 2 video.
Okay, let's
footages.
just have one person speak at a time.
yes, there is video footage of harassment.
And how long has this been going on?
About the beginning of July.
Okay.
I had issued it, I had went to get an order, Your Honor, once, and then I didn't follow through because everything for a couple of weeks was like calm. And I was afraid with her because we used to be friends and she's told me stories of things. And so I was scared. It's like sticking a stick in a pot of honey when there's bees around, you know, or something. Like I didn't want to stir the pot. So I just let it be. But then on the 6th, when I was verbally assaulted and she was just going off crazy. I guess my neighbor in 14 who couldn't be here today, she called the police as well and made a report. She's waiting to get those reports. We were hoping to have them today because she's had several problems with Miss Cobb as well. So then my neighbor in 17 came out, which is next door to me, worried that I was going to be physically assaulted. And, you know, and she's seen I was totally shook. I got a hold of management and I had a 1-year lease, Your Honor. I've been there 7 years now. And it's so bad that the property manager went to her boss and they said, let her go with no stipulations, let her go, which me. So I'm trying to get out of there, but I am scared of her and I know what she's capable of.
So the two of you are still neighbors.
Yes. And I was issued the temporary order, Your Honor, on the
Emergency.
the emergency on the 9th, came back on the 11th, in respect to her order that I was served. She did not show. And so we're here today
On your order.
on my order. Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I apologize. My mom's had 2 strokes, so I'm like here with her, trying to keep her as calm as possible.
I had submitted in there, Your Honor. I don't know what all you guys look at, because I know you're very busy. You guys have a lot of cases, obviously, but I have submitted and just letting you know it's in there. From my doctor, what this has done to me, from neighbors, there's 3 different neighbors that have submitted that I put in there. And then when my daughter came on the 27th of July my daughter, her and her husband own 2 companies. Well, she was working up in Packwood and they were doing a corn roast there. Yeah. And then she bought me gifts. And so on the 27th, since I've been packing my place, Your Honor, it's like a little path. You can't even really get in there. And so we just went out, we were gonna sit out there under the trees, so we didn't have to, be around anybody. And then that's the video footage that we submitted where my daughter kept saying, please stop harassing me, please stop harassing me.
I did not talk to you. Please stop talking to me. I was simply a visitor and I called law enforcement. I provided the sequence number to you, sir. And law enforcement advised us to seek anti-harassment orders, where we both did.
And keep it going.
And keep my phone going at all times when I pull into my mom's apartment and when I leave my mom's apartment, because I heard one of the individuals that's here in the courtroom today tell the kids to go chase my car, and it's on the video. The kids were chasing my car. So I taped my license plate, and I told law enforcement I taped my license plate because I'm scared.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to have her license plate number.
There's no
for
reason
any
for it.
reason. It's just frivolous little like attacks and stuff.
So what do you think started it?
I had loaned some money to a few people there at the complex. And anyway, after 2 months, I just wanted to get paid back. I mean, it was $200. It wasn't like $10, and she even had that in her order. It said there that she acknowledged that I loaned her the money. But I mean, they'd gotten so much stuff from me anyway. It doesn't matter, like laundry soap, dish soap, toilet paper, everything. And I just kind of at the point started feeling really used. And then it was like, I need my money back. Well, after she paid me, that's when attitude started. Boom.
And when did she pay you?
Oh, gosh.
It was
June 30th, Your Honor. I have it here.
Thank you. Does that seem accurate to you?
That's about right. Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, I also submitted because I'd been friends with Nicole since like we were younger. Nicole is I don't know if she's in the courtroom today, but I was texting with her, and she said that she spoke with Danielle and asked Danielle to stop harassing my mom. The text messages are in there. You can read them yourself. Nicole said she doesn't understand. It's immature, and it all just needs to stop. And you'll see that in the text messages.
That's one of.
There's 3 pages of it.
They all have their little like gatherings that they do all the time.
There's 4 of them against my mom.
I just want to be able to have no problem, Your Honor, get out of there and just feel like there's a safety net for me. Because there's sometimes my brother came from Arizona to help me. I mean, this is serious. This isn't just a one-time thing.
I also submitted video footage of that day that I went to go visit my mom. I'd stopped my car because I was being chased with the video recorder, and I stopped and I asked them how this all started and why this all happened. And one of the ladies sitting next to Danielle started talking and telling me all kinds of things like why it had happened and da-da-da-da. And I respectfully told her, you do realize, and it's in the video, you do realize that the way you speak in front of children to adults is the way that children are going to think that it's okay to speak to people like that. And that's in the video, because I was being screamed and cussed at for no reason except for just walking out of my mom's apartment into the field.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Cobb, I've read your statement.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to touch on a couple important facts. On 6:30, when I paid Ms. Matson back, I received a text message from her the following morning on July 1st, stating that she was sorry for her behavior lately and that she had been starting a new medicine. I responded to her and told her that the way she's been making everybody feel in the apartment complex is very uncomfortable and we all deserved an apology. After that, she's continued to separate herself from us. We are a bunch of single parents that live in a low-income neighborhood. There is no amenities for our children in this neighborhood. We have one field. It is a big circle. The roads go in and out. We can access on both ways. For Ms. Matson claiming that she feels so threatened by me, she has been driving by my home. I've submitted the pictures. She's been driving by my home up and down multiple times a day when she could be using her side of the road. I have abided by the contract, the no contact order, I have been sitting more than 150 feet away from her home. She chose 100 feet on her original order because we have a neighbor, Nicole, she's not in the courtroom right now. Her husband recently passed away. She is currently going through detox. She's 5 days clean. I have custody of her 3 children through CPS due to these things that she is going through, and she's going through a hard time. Where we hang out, because she has the youngest child in the home, she's 18 months. We hang out at Miss Withrow's residence. It's not in the same building as Miss Matson's. It's a separate building. It's 4 doors away. She chose, I feel that she chose 100 feet in her original order because when my witness here to my right pulled out a tape measure, it was exactly 100 feet from Melody's front door to Nicole's. We have been having to hang out down at Nicole's or at Jessica's home, which is in my original or outside of the area. Miss Matson has also been having her daughter come on property and circling on my side of the property also.
Is there one building and a bunch of apartments?
It's 4, what are they called? Duplexes, 4 units in each building. And Miss Matson, when I open my front door, and Miss Matson is on the other side of the property. But all of my friends are in separate buildings, but on the same side of the road as Miss Matson. I never go near Miss Matson's home because she is at the end of the street. It is a dead end. Nobody plays or hangs out over there. All of us mothers sit in front of Nicole's again because it's a central point for them and me, and she has the youngest child in the neighborhood, being 18 months. Also, the fact that Miss Matson stated that her brother was here to help her, that's a lie. Her brother showed up in the end of June 15th. He was present for Nicole's, sorry, I'm a little, he was present for multiple of the community events that also Miss Matson and myself had collectively worked on together. This stems from Miss Matson not liking that I became friends with my witness here to the right. We asked her at one time to come sit down and join us. She chose not to, and said that I wouldn't be friends with this woman if it wasn't for her. She's right. She broke the ice. She did. There was animosity here in the beginning. This is civil. This is women that just don't get along. She's upset. She has chosen to segregate herself. The videos that her daughter submitted to the courts, Jessica and I were sitting in front of her home watching our children play when her daughter came pulling in and rolled her window down and took pictures of our children. I asked her daughter why she was taking pictures of our children. She said that they were trying to keep them safe. I said, we're sitting right here. I never left my chair. They had the whole field to choose from, and they chose to sit directly across and in front of us. I dropped my order on Monday, Your Honor. My son was involved in a car accident going 125 miles an hour. My job as a mother and a guardian now is more important than the frivolous nonsense that this is. I'm not dangerous. She's been in my home multiple times. She knows I don't have weapons. She knows that my son is struggling with PTSD and suicidal tendencies, so I would not have weapons in my home. I hold my son accountable and call the police on him multiple times. I'm not a dangerous person. I'm not an aggressive person. I am very adamant about defending my children. My son, the day she claims that I came running across the courtyard to her, my son came up to me bawling because in the previous weeks, Ms. Matson has been caught flipping off the children, hers included, mine included, and other children included, with the adults sitting right there. She's been confronted and then calls us psycho, retreats in the home and calls the police. On the morning of July 7th, when I confronted her and I yelled at her, I can acknowledge my wrongdoing. My son came to me, my 10-year-old son came to me bawling and crying, saying that Miss Matson told him that she was going to call CPS on him and get him taken away from his home. That same day, I confronted her. The police came. I spoke to the police first and I told them what I had said. I acknowledged my anger. I had never said that I was going to slash Miss Matson's tires. I said that her behavior makes me want to. And I told that to the sheriff. The next day on the 27th, that morning, Miss Matson had been bashing myself and another neighbor up at the local campground convenience store. He came home and told me that the worker at the convenience store let him know that he and I were being talked about. She had been taking letters and videos and pictures up there. I got very angry. Stop talking about me. I approached her right then and there because I was so angry. I have it in text message to leave me alone. I have it in paperwork to leave me alone because I had submitted an anti-harassment form first. And then I got angry. I was mad. And I told her, I was like, this is what makes me want to fight you. Like this type of behavior makes me want to fight you. And I told the officer right then and there, it was not a threat that I was going to. I can acknowledge my wrongdoing and I can. I was angry. I'm a mother protecting her children. I have epilepsy. I'm disabled. I've never been arrested. I have no criminal history. This is frivolous. And I just want her to leave me and my children alone. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
So may I speak about the campground store?
You don't need to.
May I speak about the accusations of me taking pictures of children?
Briefly.
Okay, so when I pulled into the apartment complex, there were children laying in the street, and I acknowledged them and was like, they're like, why are you recording me? And I was like, I am recording because law enforcement advised me to, number one. Number two, I was wondering why the children, and this is in the video, my voice, why children were laying in the street where cars drive. I didn't think that that was very safe. I didn't take a photo. You have the video.
They blocked that side, Your Honor, so I couldn't leave. I have, like I said, if the other witnesses had showed up today, I would have had them in person, but.
No, you have the audio and video
But
of what they're
the
talking
reason I
about.
don't leave on the side she's saying I should leave on all the time is because when they are out there at her friends at the end of the building,
Nicole,
Jessica's,
you go around.
I go around the other side because it's like a big horseshoe.
I was in
basically.
my
You
home.
come in
Yes.
So
one
don't interrupt.
you come in one side and you can go right around the other. And we've been told that actually by the property manager, they would like us to come in my side and go out Danielle's side because there's been almost head-on collisions from people going out the way you're supposed to come in.
That's why I follow what the landlord Frankie told me to do, is you come in this way and you come out this way. That's why I follow that.
There's only one way in, Your Honor. One way in, one way out. And it's like a big horseshoe is what it is.
Okay, thank you.
7 fourplexes.
And Ms. Cobb, you said somebody measured in the distance between your duplex and your friend's duplex is 100 feet.
No, from Miss Matson's door to where we spend our time is 100 feet. And there
that's
is no,
Natalie's door.
I'm sorry,
That's
Nicole.
Nicole. right?
Yes, and I'm, just so you know, there is no signage stating one way in and one way out. She removed them for the purpose of the postal worker.
And do you work, Ms. Matson?
I do not, I'm disabled, Your Honor. I have a rare condition and some other things.
Judge Meyer checked that Ms. Cobb was not to go within 150 feet of your workplace, so I was curious because that hadn't been
He
addressed.
might, yeah, he might have just checked it.
Okay.
It's just my residence that I'm concerned.
Thank you.
And he did not grant mine at the time because I was a visitor at her residence. And because the incident happened at her residence, that's what he said that it would protect her visitors coming to visit her.
Your Honor.
Yes.
This, I also want to just make note that this will hinder greatly the bus stop situation because Miss Matson, she claims she is going to be moving, but we have one bus stop for our children. And they all get on the bus together. We all walk down and get on the bus. There's an occasional day where Miss Matson will drive her granddaughter to school, but we all go down to the bus stop together. And there's even been times where
First bus stop.
at the end of our road, at the end of Prime Villa and 83rd.
Your Honor,
Your Honor,
I've already enrolled her in a different school, so she won't.
that's
be
not
going
an
there.
issue.
Thank you. All right. I've looked at things that you filed and I've heard from all of you, I guess. Ms. Cobb, I am going to direct that you have no contact with Ms. Madsen. It's essentially the same as the temporary order with the exception that I changed the distance restriction to 75 feet. And it sounds like the bus stop won't be an issue any longer. And Ms. Madsen, if you want the order renewed after 1 year, you'll have to come back to court at that time and ask
Thank you,
for
Your
its
Honor, I
renewal.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll give you each a copy of this order.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can just have these back there.